I'm gonna need y'all to like the video. Comment if you want, but turn your post notifications on so you don't know the next time I drop.
If we give a woman the right to opt out of motherhood, should we also give a man the right to opt out of fatherhood and 18 years of child support?
No, I don't know.
But if a mom walks into an abortion clinic and says, you know what, I'm not feeling this, and gets an abortion, the dad has no say, why can't he opt out if she was able to say, hey, I don't want this baby? It's a double standard.
Well, he could obviously sign his rights away, but he cannot physically make
He can't sign his rights away because he has to pay child support.
I mean,
He is legally bound by child support.
That's just the way it is.
I know, but do you think it's right?
You can't tell a woman to have an abortion. Like, that's it.
I know, but do you think it's right that a mom can say, I don't want this baby, but a dad never can?
I mean, I just think that's just the way it is.
But do you think it's right? Yes or no?
We spend so much time talking about a woman's choice.
Right, but the man doesn't have one.
But my only point is, what reproductive rights does a man have?
None.
Just imagine a man having the right to financially abort a baby. It would automatically cause women to be way more selective in their choice of man. They can only have a baby by a man with great moral character. It would force them to have to include moral character. But they're not advocating for that because that would make them have to change in a big way. But you let me know what you think in the comments. Y'all think that if a woman's allowed to abort the baby with no rights to the man, can a man be allowed to abort the baby financially with no rights to the woman?
You guys, men are choosing themselves this year. No one is tolerating my bullshit, and it's stressing me out. It's stressing me out because who gave them the rundown? Who gave them the rundown? Where's the effort? Where's the effort? Like, why is no one begging me? Where's how dare you know your worth? Like, what? I don't know. This was not in my bingo cards of 2025. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not in my cards.
I think she might just be hitting the wall. You know, like it's a gradual thing. It starts to slow down. You know, you're not as hot as you used to be.
Unpopular opinion. Our fathers, grandfathers, uncles, they were not better providers than men are today. They just lived in a time where life was a lot easier. And I'm gonna break this down because I hate to see people comparing the two without giving context. So for context, in 1990, the average mortgage payment in America was $650. Today, the average monthly mortgage payment is $2,500. That's almost a 4x. The average rent price in America in 1990, it was $370. The average rent price today is $2,000. That's a 5x. The average home price in 1990 was $120,000. The average home price today is $420,000. That's 3.5 times more. The average car payment with insurance in 1990 was $230. The average car payment with insurance today is $730. That's a 3x. Meanwhile, the average income in 1990 was $30,000. Today, the average income is $55,000. That's not even a 2x. It hasn't even the average income hasn't even doubled, and that's in 35 years. In 1990, on average, people were paid $2,500 a month. Today, the average person gets around $4,200 a month. So once again, that number hasn't even doubled. The average minimum wage in 1990 was $4. The average minimum wage today is $7.25. Once again, it hasn't doubled. So comparing somebody today to somebody in the past is like comparing to someone playing a video game on Hall of Fame to somebody that's playing the game on easy mode with the sliders up. So there's really no comparison, but people, they really lack understanding of this basic thing. And I know a lot of people, they're going to say, well, they just need to leave their jobs, find better jobs, and make more money. And I agree with that largely. I do think people need to up their skill sets so they could be better and bigger earners. At the same time, people say those things without understanding how the economy and how ecosystems work. These jobs that people down talk and consider low wages, these jobs are what makes the country go round. How you get your food, the clothes that's on your back, the building you live in, the people that's teaching your kids, the cars we drive. All these things are ran and functioned by people that don't make a lot of money. So if these people quit and left these careers and chase to make more money, the whole economy in the world would shut down immediately. So we need people in these positions and career fields, which is why it never makes sense to me when I see people down talk people that actually do these jobs. They make the world go round. So again, you can't compare somebody like that to your father, grandfather, or uncle that was living in the past. But also, and this is probably the biggest point, and if you're going to compare people from the past to today, this should be the point that y'all bring up. It's that people understood where they were in life and where they were on a social, economic ladder, and they desired and wanted things that were according to where they were in life. Meaning back in the day, you didn't see people who were teachers, factory workers, telemarketers, with Louis Vuitton bags, going to Turks and Caicos, driving BMWs. You didn't see people like that with those things, and nor did they want them, because they understood where they were economically. And there wasn't any social media back then, so they didn't care to impress people. They understood those things were for the rich and wealthy. And nowadays, you have people who don't even make $60,000, $70,000 annually that want and desire and need to have all these things. And men who aren't making enough feel like they need to get them or they aren't providing properly. So you have this weird dichotomy and everything is off balance simply because people are not putting things into context. And this isn't me making excuses for people, because I know oftentimes people will hear something like this and they'll say, oh, you're just making excuses for people. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just putting things in their proper context, because I know this is social media and everybody loves sensationalism, but that's just childish. And what's the point of having a real adult conversation if you're not going to put things into their proper context? So at the end of the day, what I am saying, though, is give people grace. Stop expecting people to have things overnight. Stop comparing people to other people. Be willing to build with someone, because if you're not willing to do those things, you're going to stay in a state of struggle because you're expecting things that just aren't reality when it comes to the majority.
He's partially right. The way it works is, and he used the right term, ecosystem. There's a certain balance to ecosystem. So once a dramatic change happens, even though it may appear to not be a major shift, in reality, there's a chain reaction of things that are going to transpire that is not seen to the average eye. The reason why the ecosystem is off and wages are stagnant is because when your grandparents went to work, the women stayed home. And so because the women were at home, the workforce primarily were comprised of men. Now, when women's rights came into play and they left the home and decided to work themselves, the workforce doubled. It's like basic economics. Anything that is abundant is cheaper. Anything that is scarce is expensive. So by the workforce doubling, the average laborer, that value diminished. It got spread out. I once was 100% value in the workforce. Now I'm 50% because there's more of me. And so what that does is, even though other parts of the market is going to continue to grow, because not only are you spending more, because this other half, they reckless with their money. Not only are you spending more, there's more demand for product. And so it shifts from it being a single gender workforce to both genders in the workforce. And the other spends a lot. So the value of goods are not going to slow down. They're actually going to expedite. That means houses, cars, clothes, all that type of stuff. Just how the market is, it's going to continue. And the people that are going to make the most money are going to be the ones that's at the top, that's selling everything.
Like, I like him.
So you
I'm just not
like him
sure.
enough to get pregnant by him, but you don't like him enough to be in a relationship with him?
Like, I'm working on it.
Let me repeat this for you. You like him enough to get pregnant by him, but you don't like him enough to be in a relationship with him.
Like, so, like, if I was to get pregnant, like, I wouldn't have a problem because it's him. Like,
baby, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Listen to me. I'm going to repeat this one more time. You like him enough to create a life with him, an 18-year to 21, 25-year bond, but you don't like him enough for him to be your man.
I think so. Like, I think it's because I had like that mindset. Like, if I was to get pregnant, I had a child, like, and he decides he doesn't want to be involved, like, I'm okay. Like,
Ma'am,
I'll be okay.
ma'am, ma'am, listen to me
Yes.
one more time. I'm gonna just do this one more time. I want you to really listen to me. You like him enough to let him come in your vagina and possibly make a baby. You like him that much, but you don't like him enough to be in a relationship with him.
I know it sounds bad, but like,
I wish you the best, sister. You have a great day.
34 and thinking like that. That's arrested development. That's a goddamn shame. She's speaking womanese. Okay, I'm gonna translate for you. All right. She said, I like him enough to have a baby for him. Dude broke it down all the way. She said, yeah. But you don't like him to want to be in a relationship with him. She said, yeah. What she really means is she want to trap him with a baby because she really like him. But he don't like her like that. And he know that she know damn well he don't like her like that. So if she could have his baby, that may trap him into liking her a little bit more because of the baby. But most likely not. So that's the only thing I could do to try and keep this guy. That's what that means.
I could not live one day as a man. No way. Not only do men have to have themselves together, but they have to make sure the people that are following them are in order too. So he has to have eyesight not only for himself, but for everybody else around him. He has to lead everybody else, which means he does have to take his feelings and gobble them so that everybody else can lean on him. And I can't handle that. I want to be soft, I want to be coddled, I want to be taken care of, I want a hug. And I want a lot of grace when I make a mistake and I mess up. And a lot of women, we expect that other people give us grace. I mean, if I make a mistake, you should know that my emotions and my feelings got involved and I didn't mean it. But God forbid a man does that. I mean, society holds them to a certain standard, and God even holds them to a certain standard. I'm a woman, and I want to cry, and I want a lot of grace. I want people to cheer me on when I do stuff right. You know, when I think logically, and it makes sense, people cheer me on for it as a woman, because it's unheard of when women hold themselves accountable and want to reach for a certain standard. You know, that's holy that God wants us to live by. But men don't get cheered on when they do stuff right. We just magnify when they do wrong, and when they do right, it was already expected of you. You don't get hugged and coddled and cheered on for it. And I just couldn't live like that. I couldn't live as a man. I would just like be done, you know? Bye. Because what's the point? I don't get a hug and I don't get loved when I try so hard. God forbid as a man, like, you mess up in any capacity. God forbid. You know, the people around you will remind you of it to the day you die. There's just so much expectation and standard for a man. And I know other men are going to say, you know, they have to. God appointed them. So they have to. Even biblically, God holds men to a higher standard that you have to live by, and expectations out of you that you have to live by. You have to be on point because everybody's counting on you. Everyone that's following you and that's under you is counting on you. You have to have eyesight for everybody around you that is following you, that you are leading. You need to not only know yourself, but know them, so you know how to appoint them and you know how to lead them and how to guide them, which means you have to have a whole lot of self-awareness. And I as a woman, I just could never be a man.
It's interesting to see that she gets it, you know, like she actually gets it. There's some upsides to it, but there's some downsides to it as well. And a lot of times women just want the authority without the responsibility.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but your mouth will turn a man off. If you think you're going to pick fights, be petty, argue with this man all day, be disagreeable, and at the end of the night put on some booty shorts and then think, no ma'am. I said men are visual creatures. I didn't say they are only visual creatures. No. You can work on yourself all you want. Go to the gym, eat clean. When you're doing that, make sure you are fixing yourself. Make sure you're fixing that mouth, that attitude. No man wants to deal with a female that is masculine. I'm sorry. Be a lady. Be feminine. Be submissive. Be everything you're supposed to be. You'll be thanking me later.
You know what is so interesting is that women have these shallow conversations with themselves as if in reality, a woman can just turn a switch on of femininity. Like just pop the switch on and all that their mother has taught them all through their adolescence just goes away. The trauma of not having a father, poof, gone. Just act this way. That's how you get it, is acting. And it's like, that's performance. The only way that you can actually be that person is through the self-work, facing those traumas. You gotta face them traumas. If you don't face them traumas, you're gonna be running for yourself to the day you die. And that's the last thing you want, because you're never gonna be able to really experience life freely, not shackled through all of the hurt and pain that you feel cheated out of. When they talk like that, that give me that chameleon vibes, because there's no depth to it. It's just act like this. You really have to look within yourself and like actually do that work and be honest with yourself. That's the first step, is just honesty with yourself.
You have a partner who won't share with you, that's your fault. Like, how's it my fault that he doesn't say anything to me? Because whenever he does, you freak the fuck out, and that makes you unsafe to talk to. If you can't handle the truth, people stop telling it to you. Why do they stop doing it? Because you've shown you can't handle it. Well, they should be honest. I'm like, but if they are, you punish honesty. So people don't share honesty with people who try to punish instead of accept. And since you can't handle the truth, they can't share it with you. You taught them that.
That's what people who don't really have self-awareness to see how they're responding. They stop at what they've heard. And so how they respond is completely blind to them. And so when someone tries to give you the perspective, because we all need it, like even within myself, I know myself well enough. But if one of my trusted friends give me a perspective about myself, I can accept it readily. Or even if their perspective may be off, I can like level it to see if like that fits for me or not. But I'm readily eager to receive any perspective someone has about me, especially somebody that I trust and I hold in high regard, to give me a good idea of who I am. Whereas, you know, mostly in women, they don't even see their own self, you know, and any other perspective, it is always met with vitriol.
A lot of y'all not gonna like me for saying this, but sis, the reason why you don't have that soft life or that stay-at-home life that you want with your man is because you are unwilling to live within his financial means. I know that's gonna sting a little bit, and I know you're gonna have to, you know, take that in, but it's the truth. You see, the real problem is you get on here and you look at these pretentious ass couples who say that they get to go to Roof Chris every Friday night for date night. But see, your man ain't got Roof Chris money, but he got Cheesecake Factory money. He got Applebee's money. He got Olive Garden money, which is just as good. But you done sat up here on Instagram and let somebody talk you out of that. To say you can't have a soft life and you got a hard working ass man, stop. You just won't live by that man's financial budget. And I get it. Some women don't want to settle, and that's fine. But stop blaming that man for that. That ain't got shit to do with that man. He makes enough, sis. He makes enough. I don't care if he makes $40,000 or $240,000 a year. He makes enough. He makes enough.
What happens is that women's ego is so inflated that they think that they're entitled to the best, no matter who they are, no matter how they look, no matter how poor they are. What she's trying to illustrate is you need to act your number. If you a 6 and you with a man that's a 6, y'all on 6 budget. You ain't got the budget of an 8 or a 9. But these 6s and these 4s all want to believe they're 10s.
It's a nice area. Where it's located, down here or something?
It's right here.
Wait, all this?
Yes. It's right here.
No, this look bigger than the other house. And it's like that, like upstairs and all that. Like that's nice, cause like the upstairs and downstairs, you know what I'm saying?
Well, not quite.
What you mean?
Well, it's over here, just around the corner.
Oh, you go to the bottom floor, like to get up to the top, like?
Yeah.
It's like this whole thing. So I see all the doors down here, so there's like a door for like each room, like that's different.
Well, yeah, but your door is right there. Your door.
What you talking about? What the fuck is this?
It's your new home.
Heavens, no, this can't be my home. Hold on, where the rest of it at?
Well, over here, there's a beautiful bathroom.
Wait, this hold on. Oh no. I mean the bedroom here is nice. It's a nice bedroom, but I'm saying that what is it, a 1 bedroom, a half bathroom? What is it?
It's a studio, but it's what you can afford. So
Man, I know I got a few more dollars than that, man. I ain't even got 2 beds.
And a washer and dryer.
They washer and the dryer. I'm taller than the fridge. I'm 5'9". I'm taller than the fridge. I mean the appliance is nice and all that, but like the last spot was like, you know, like a mansion. I mean, it's like a...
Do you like it? And you have your central AC and heat right there?
I don't. Like I said, it's nice. You know what I'm saying? I got an apartment. He like 3 for 8. He love this, you know what I'm saying? What is this? You got a seat in like a cup the ass. Look at it, just sitting right there. The living room, kitchen, the dining room, all in the same room. What is this?
A bed frame.
So the bed go right here?
Yes.
So where the TV go at?
On that one right there.
So I'm going to look that way, counterclockwise to the right. You got to do better than this. What Drake said, I'm just saying you can do better. You got to do better. This is how I know it. It ain't for me. I come in here, as soon as I walk in, bam, I'm not supposed to be able to get around my house that quickly. I won't fight. Not you. I'm just going through a lot right now. A long day. I put shit to the side, thinking it was gonna be a great evening. You messed my whole day up. I can't do nothing with it. So yeah, I'm gonna holler at you. Alright, I'm gonna holler at you.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
I'm gonna need y'all to like the video, comment if you want, but turn your post notifications on so you don't know the next time I drop.